Hi there, Smart Drivers. Rick with Smart Drive Test talking to you tonight about defensive driving and remaining crash-free. We're going to get started here a couple of minutes early. It looks pretty good. It looks like the lights are good. I changed the glass in my degree here behind me, so that's actually I think you can actually see it now. So and I did not get the video up yesterday, and I do apologize for that. Paulo, you need to know if you can drive in the USA with your driver's license from Angola. Now, Paulo, as far as I know, you can. And Candy took my CDL permit test and passed everything Friday, including the tanker endorsement, so I'm pretty proud of myself. That is a really awesome accomplishment, Candy, and especially the tanker endorsement. That is tremendous. That possibility of freezing rain, especially when it's been super cold overnight. Well, not super cold, but when it drops down below freezing. And then in the morning, the temperature comes back up. You get rain, but it freezes on contact. And as far as I'm concerned, freezing rain is probably one of the most treacherous types. Well, I don't know whether you know this all about vehicles or not, but in Ontario, when you have an A license, you also get a C license, which is a coach. So you can drive for Greyhound or the tour buses or those types of things. Matt loves his Toyota. Mr. B, are you talking about being a broker? Is that what you're talking about, being an owner-operator and then working for another carrier? The vehicle becomes a member of their fleet. So it's added to their fleet, so you are covered under their fleet. So most of the time you can't. But that's going to vary from trucking company to trucking company. Tim, you did ask me, I believe it was you that asked me about making a video driving at night and blowing snow in the dark. We don't get a lot of blowing snow here in British Columbia because of the mountains, right? You need to maintain a speed. You need to maintain kind of a loose grip on the steering wheel, because when you hit the snowbanks, that's what's going to cause your vehicle to go out of control or potentially go into a skid. Now, Trevor, oh, you got a heavy foot and like speed. Well, yes, and thank you very much for that endorsement, Sam. It's really great, and I do really appreciate that. Skills, strategies, and techniques to keep you safe while you're driving. And one of the most important tenets of defensive driving is managing space around your vehicle. I cannot stress that enough. All right, I'm Rick August, PhD. I've been a driving instructor for 20 years. I do have a doctorate in legal history, and my specialty is in policing and traffic, and I basically looked at the traffic revolution that occurred at the beginning of the 20th century. I'm going to make a specific playlist for this presentation, so look for that tonight. I'll get that together for you and put that up, and it'll have all the videos here that I have in the PowerPoint presentation for you over on the Smart Drive Test channel. And you're going to be a little bit surprised by this, and I know most people will be, that cruise control is going to reduce both distracted driving and fatigue while you're driving on long trips or longer trips and those types of things. So Frank says he sets his cruise control at 65 miles an hour in the States on the interstate, and that keeps him out of the gaggles, and that is an awesome driving strategy. And these are the 5 tenets of a system that we can't teach because it's been patented, but we still teach it because it was developed in the 1940s, and it still is the best defensive driving strategies that you can put in place. List the 4 signs that warn you of hazards and obstructions on the roadway. And of course, I was dumbfounded, which surprised me because I'd been a truck driver and I was like, well, there isn't too much you can't teach me. Well, one of the things we learn about teaching is that we can never know everything because there's too much to know. Head-on crashes, T-bone crashes, rear-end crashes. And the most important thing that you can do to avoid rear-end crashes, and we teach new drivers this, is to stay back 1 vehicle length from the traffic in front of them. You're not allowed to have any recording devices in the vehicle during your road test. How do you approach a yield turn on an 18-wheeler? Miguel, carefully. You probably want to, it depends on what kind of transmission you're gearing down, but probably 3rd or 4th gear and then just sort of creep up. Okay, Long Island is not a borough. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we have the authority here. Sam is telling us what it is. It's Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. Andrew, I use the 90 degree, and in the reverse stall parking video here on the channel, that's what I show you how to do. Okay, so Rabaz, those 2 things that you're talking about, mock road tests, if you go to a driving school and ask for a mock road test, say, listen, I'm going for my road test, I just want to go out with a driving examiner, they will do a mock road test at a driving school for you. You pay for that. Okay, the other thing is that running commentary, that changes between different driving authorities. So thank you everybody for showing up. Congratulations to everybody who got their license passed the road test in the last week. Good luck to everybody taking a road test this week. And remember, pick the best answer, not necessarily the right answer. Have a great night. Bye.
Wasn't me how I caught you in the security camera. I caught you in the mirror.